nails that in fact it can be both automatic and take over. It'll come to me like Monday. I'll put it on the list. Questions, thoughts, reactions. I just want to underline this one thought, and then we'll come back and we'll talk mostly about like the intervention memory training sort of literature as you have it. But that, so just thinking about the three-part distinction of encoding, storage, and retrieval for right now, we know that a lot of the problems that older adults seem to exhibit are in encoding. With this, we also can see fairly compelling evidence that the place where all of us have the most control over memory is at encoding. And I think, as simple as this is, I think that most people in their day-to-day lives don't think of it this way, because when you notice memory failure is at retrieval. And so that's when you want stuff to be able to work. But through almost any kind of intervention that you're going to do, there's a few things you can do at retrieval that change your likelihood of success a bit, and we'll talk about those after the break. But for the most part, anything that you're going to want to do to improve your ability to retrieve information, you're going to have to do it in coding for it to work. I don't know if we have any ability to do anything much about the storage process. We're just sort of stuck here. We can do a lot in encoding, probably nothing much at storage. A few things that can disrupt storage, like brain damage. And then retrieval, there's a little bit we can do to decrease interference and so forth. But for the most part, if we didn't encode it, if we didn't encode it right for the times that we're going to want to retrieve it, we're pretty much up the creek without a paddle. Yeah.
Would diet by any chance affect storage, or would it just be too insignificant?
Anything specific in mind?
I'm just thinking like, toxicity, like the opposite end of the spectrum, negatively affecting storage, so maybe on the other side.
Yeah, I've never actually looked for stuff like that. It's an interesting idea. My guess would be that certainly extremely poor nutrition can actually throw you into a delirium state, and we'll talk about that one. That can make you very cognitively impaired. I think my guess would be poor nutrition would disrupt retrieval processes mostly. I don't think you would expect it to, whatever we think we know about this, I don't think you'd expect it to wipe out storage, but I think you can see it really, really getting in the way of retrieval processes. And it would also, if you were malnourished at the time of, to any degree, I don't know, if you were at all toxic or severely malnourished,
it would affect encoding.
It would affect encoding a lot.
Yeah, isn't there a lot of evidence? Well, I don't know a lot, but isn't there evidence that there's some diet component? Evidence isn't the right word. I know I hear on NPR a lot they talk about diet and ADHD and like sugar and caffeine and stuff.
Oh, I don't know the child stuff hardly at all.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying that for adults, I would assume that
I
you
know.
have a lot.
I know literature on like glucose and the whole locus of memory losses in the liver. How you can improve memory in older adults by giving them some sugar.
I was just thinking you want to be careful dealing with older adults with some diabetes. Yeah, I would probably like give you a little more energy if you were low energy, low blood sugar, energy from the sugar.
Yeah, it just is good. Your brain function.
Kind of cranky up here.
That'll really affect both sides too, depending on, do you know if encoding or retrieval is more taxing or uses more energy?
They both require energy.
Because at that point, diet would significantly hamper,
Yeah.
or the other, definitely both to an extent, but
Anything that's going to affect your energy level would be a problem. And I would think for retrieval, like anything that would affect your attention and concentration, which diet, caffeine, alcohol, lots of things, all of that would probably affect your ability to select and utilize search strategies. Let's take about a 10-minute break and come back at 25 till, I think, and we'll talk about improving memory. And depending on how that goes, then we'll talk about whether older people should drive. If people look at numbers of people, both from social cognition and departments who look at control beliefs, self-efficacy, and attitudes towards aging, all play some
that at the other end of the lifespan.
Very good memory, and sort of have these myths about
definitely.
I don't know. Well, I'm ADHD,
This as well as whether it's depending how quickly people walk the elevator, they actually move around based on that age manipulations of age thing.
and lack of sleep.
And there's several people that look at like efficacy control stuff.
And then a lot of people are pushing for
My main thing comes around to I'm not quite nice. His name, I can't come up with. Okay, thank you. And also Tom Hess.
But I haven't read the paper. I haven't read the papers on that. So
I'm not going to hold you to it.
Well, I hate saying stuff like that because it's like half the time I hear something and then I go back to the article.
Yeah, we
Talking
went to
about
like
something, and then I go back to it and I'm like,
And then, like, you made the good meeting for tonight because you must have right, like,
they were all like the week of this, you know.
Like, who would know with my number in your mailbox? He said you checked it every day. I'm like, I was so busy trying to get it, never chance to check it.
Oh, right.
Oh, I'm like, we can meet tonight. And he was like, okay.
Let's say C.
They're tired of your mind for your
She doesn't look at the emotional
Or, that's
regulation.
yours on your
So much
chat.
process itself.
Oh, yeah.
But then the actual article, we studied one study. The study had to do with,
And we actually, we've been looking
and it had an anecdotal story. They talked about so-and-so, had a negative experience. And then when it actually goes into an actual study, it just talks about it. Yeah, I was like, oh man, because like this actually they could have chosen, but I thought it was kind of funny maybe. You hear something or you read something, you see a headline, and you're like, oh yeah, and then you actually look it up, and you're like,
Well, I feel the same way about like some of the projects I've worked on.
It's more like just
Professors, and when I see like things I've done in the media, and I'm like, give that to me. A little more
that's their
interesting than
job,
it
yeah.
was.
That's what they do, man. Care consumption. I didn't mean to like feel creepy or feel.
Oh no, that was okay.
Listen to you guys. I was just really curious, and I didn't want to like let you get away with
I'm
that.
sure there's some IPs that have come back. I'm sure if you type in sugar caffeine.
I just was curious.
Psychology, like all the way.
I discovered that until I was trying to figure out Friday, and I think she's entertaining, but I also got to